So recently, this is kind of personal. So recently, as you guys probably know, I've been working on clearing out. They're called some scars, but basically, it's trauma that we all have, and it's just imprinted in everybody. And I've done a good job on doing that. Like I've spent pretty much the last 2 years sitting, observing my feelings, and watching stuff and processing it out. And anyway, that's not what this video is about, but that's what I've been doing. And I've got my mind to where I can sit without thoughts pretty well, pretty damn good. But I realized that my heart was still closed. And, we hear about this a lot, especially as guys. We hear, you need to open your heart. And then it's like, how do you do that? What does that even fucking mean? I think women are better at it. And I think men have more pressure to be closed. It's just different. Women are allowed to be free, and of course women have other pressures too. But so I'd heard that, and I thought I'd done it, and I've done different things with chakras and all that. Long story short, I get to this point and it's still needs a lot of attention. So what I've been doing recently is just tapping into how I feel and tapping into how I'm treating myself and being really soft to myself. Where, again, for guys, we're taught to be like, just get it done. Doesn't matter, you're a man, just go get that shit done and take care of it, and you don't have time to worry about that. I haven't had a problem with being emotional, and crying or whatever. Like when I was clearing out a lot of my other stuff, my other stem scars, tears were just flowing down my eyes. But my heart, I noticed that you get to a certain point and you can actually feel these energies in your body. I guess I'll go into a little detail for some of you that are doing this work. You can actually feel, you have your regular body and then you have your energy body, and you can feel these, like where these things are. And as they move out, you can actually feel them pop out. Sometimes they'll even pop in your ears or pop as they go out. It's really interesting. And then you stand up and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel light and free. Anyway, so I had this tightness around my chest, and I just started to realize how hard I am on myself. And I've always been that way. I remember back in high school, we were at a party just drinking with some friends, and went and talked to my friend Chelsea, and she's like, you're too hard on yourself. And I just remember that conversation, and then this kind of came up my whole life. And so being hard on yourself and critical of yourself also makes you critical of others. But really, I've just been driving so hard in my life. First it was entrepreneurial, then it was this seeker. Well, the seeker's always been there. And then I thought I would get my happiness and truth through making money and success, but that didn't work. So just so hard and pushing forward. And my point is, I've never been soft to myself. And at this point, now that I've got this far on my spiritual journey, what's next for me is to release the heart and to open the heart, and to ultimately the what happens after that is you release the self. It becomes all about others, period. And I can feel that happening. I can feel this, it's like a different way of looking at people, and a different way of, when you see someone and you make eye contact with them, it's like you see, it's like the real meaning of namaste. People say that all the time, but that has so many deeper levels. And I'm not saying people don't experience it. People all experience it, but it's just like the word love. We don't even know what 1% of that word means, right? We just have primordial bonds to people. We don't even understand love. But so I'm getting off on a tangent, but it's important. So you start to see this soul in everybody else, and as you open your heart. And so that's what my focus has been on. And last night I was just laying there and I was feeling my body, and I'm it's okay, I could feel the tightness because I started bringing my attention to that area. And I'm it's okay that you're here. I'm speaking to the tension, and I won't go into what all that stuff is, but it's kind of creepy. But was speaking to it and I was okay with it. And that's the thing, you got to be soft and okay with where you're at. Like you got to be accepting of whatever it is that you're in and wherever you are. And this is not just for clearing your heart, this is for sanity, man. You got to be willing to accept where you're at in order to move out of it. And so I was just accepting that, and I was relaxing into it and breathing into it and using the same techniques I use in the Roar method, which I'm going to get that for you guys so you can download it here shortly. And I just started allowing it to come out, and I felt this massive, it was really hard. I can tell when they don't want to come because as I'm yawning and water's coming out of my eyes, it's not really crying, it's like tears are coming out, but it's like a form of waste coming out of your body. It's energy like being pushed out of your body essentially. And I could feel as I was yawning, this one did not want to come, so I just had to like coax it. This is getting into detail, but I'm telling you guys the truth how this works. And I know some of you have experienced this. You could, and if you haven't, you need to try it because this is what ultimately removes your trauma. And so as I breathed into it, I could feel it like loosening, and I would like yawn and reach for it. Like as I yawn, a lot of yawning, it doesn't want to come undone sometimes. And ultimately I got it to come out, and it was like, and it was like happier to be out than I was to have it out. I know this is like metaphysical and a little bit out there for people that aren't doing this work, but if you're on the path to clearing your body out, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And that's really the only path worth pursuing. So I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes opening my heart and clearing out the last of what's false in me. Man, I've had 2 years of excruciating highs and lows getting to this point, and you know, we always feel like we're further than we are, and I feel like this is the last thing, but we'll see.